Hi everybody. So we're continuing to start working on the rear spar for the left wing. There I am just doing a little bit of cleanup. So first thing is, naturally, like all the other chapters, you have a whole bunch of parts that need to be fabricated and then deburred. And these are some pretty heavy pieces. The rear spar has both the aileron attach brackets that you need to go on, plus they dovetail right around the edges of the flap attach brackets. And there's three doublers you need to put on. And let's not forget that the interior attach aileron bracket deals with the service bulletin, and we'll be talking a lot about that. So here I am just deburring in my standard fashion. Today I'm joined by one of my kitties who's staring at me, and the sponsor of the whole show. Say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
That's my wife, Heather. So it's more or less like, kind of like doing the horizontal stabilizer rear spar. There's a few doublers and a lot of holes, and part of the instructions are kind of confusing, so I'm going to lay those out so that I don't make any more mistakes again. Not that I made any mistakes, but I had to spend a lot of time staring at the instructions so that I wouldn't make a mistake. And inevitably, I did wind up making one anyway. So the pieces that you see me deburring right now, these are all parts of the aileron hinge brackets. They're rather thick. They're usually at least 1/8 of an inch. The outboard hinge bracket has 3 pieces, and it's the standard. It's a standard bracket that Vans had always put out. Everything was fine there. The interior bracket or inboard bracket, that is the one that deals with the service bulletin. Now you see that piece of paper that's on the workbench right there. That's the actual service bulletin, kind of like reminder, big flashy pink paper that says read me, read me, read me. So the interior, I keep saying interior, the inboard aileron hinge brackets had been known. There had been some cracking in the doubler and the spar around the inboard aileron hinge bracket. And there could have been some possibilities of some cracking along the flange of the actual bracket itself. There has been no evidence of cracking in the brackets, but Vans says it's possible. So this service bulletin replaces that inboard bracket with, instead of a 3-piece bracket, it's now a 2-piece bracket of much thicker metal, along with 2 pieces of angle aluminum on each side, and I mean thick, as well as 2 pieces that go on the back side of the spar from the doubler to reinforce that as well. And when we get around to actually installing it, I've got some still pictures of it that I took. There's a little bit of problem with it in that the fix that Vans made, if you haven't rigged your ailerons yet, there's a possibility of the edge of it rubbing against a couple of the dome head rivets now for this new replacement. You can just as easily countersink the angle aluminum for them and put in AN 426 flush heads. I didn't need to, but again, your mileage may vary. I guess it depends, because it all depends on whether or not you've already built your plane or not. The first 10 pages of the service bulletin all deals with how you deal with the cracks in an existing plane. All right. As far as a new build, you just put the bracket together, and it's the last page and a half. It's just, here's how the bracket goes together, and it fits in the pre-drilled holes already there, so no big deal. So anyway, just going to keep deburring pieces, and then we will mock up the spar and continue later. So see you soon.